Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Black Fire. I'm Destiny.
And I'm Jay, what's up?
And we're going to be recapping another episode of Lovecraft.
Right, and if you guys are interested in knowing what happened in the previous episodes of Lovecraft, please go back and watch the ones that we previously did. Please like and subscribe, comment, let us know your theories and all that. So basically this episode starts off with Dee still in the coma, and everybody is at Hippolaya's house trying to figure out how to get her out of the coma. Yeah. And Ruby comes up with the idea to call Christina because that's basically the only person that they know who is doing magic at the time. And Christina basically comes in and says that she could take the curse off of Dee, but she would need the book of names. Right? Coincidence?
Yes, I think not.
Right. So at this point, basically all she can do is just temporary restore Dee for 24 hours. But they would have to go back and find the book of names. So at this point, Christine / William goes to the police office and basically is talking to the person or the police officer that put the spell on Dee, and she just watched him die. Like, there's really no significant reason why she goes. She just wanted to see him die.
She enjoyed that moment.
Right. And then it's back to the apartment where Montrose drops the biggest bomb on Tick and basically tells him that George might actually be his father and not him.
Ooh.
That was crazy. And then Hippolaya returns and she basically explains that she's been gone to a place that's called Earth 504, and she's been there for the equivalent of 200 Earth years. So she was having fun. And she's just now coming to the knowledge that Dee is actually in a coma, and she goes right into mother mode.
Yep.
So what you think?
Okay, where do I start? All right, I'm gonna start with that bitch Christina. Okay, so this crazy bitch. So her plan is working out perfectly. She used this opportunity. She was like, you know what? Since I'm here, I might as well just, just ask for the rest of the pages.
Right.
Since I'm here, I have to.
So what you're saying is that you think she has the power to actually take the spell off if she wants to.
I think she has that power.
She wants the pages.
Most definitely, because she's very powerful.
Right.
Right. And then Ruby's just like, yeah, she'll do it for me.
Right.
Bitch.
Ruby is like totally out of her head right now.
Girl, she's talking about, she gonna teach me how to do spells. I was like, how gullible are you?
I think Ruby is stigmatized.
I really think
she is.
And it's crazy because she doesn't even see Christina as Christina. She's like, nah, that's my man. that's my man, William.
Right.
Like, oh my gosh. And then with Atticus and Montrose, I mean, we all knew.
Yeah, because I think at the
very beginning, the first episode,
George has said something about it.
Yeah, he was like, I might be his father. He was Montrose was like, shut the fuck up.
Right. But
don't you say shit.
The crazy thing is, like, I don't understand why, especially since Tick had like such a bad upbringing with Montrose.
Horrible upbringing.
Why didn't George save him?
I honestly have no clue. I wish they would have explained that so we can get a better shot of like what's going on. You know?
Right.
Because it was just like, okay, like I guess Montrose finally fucking said it because he'd been wanting to say it these past couple episodes and they haven't, but now he just like,
I'm gonna say it.
This feeling might not help Dee. My blood might not be you. I mean, you could be her sister. I'm just letting you know.
I think
just in case.
I know, right? Like that's true. That actually could be his sister. He wouldn't even. Wow. This whole time he's thinking that he's a cousin, and he might actually be related to Dee.
Yep. And now on to Hippolaya. So I'm so happy for her. She's been living her best life.
Well, where the hell have you been?
She was on Earth with the I call her the Black Goddess. She was on Earth with her.
I understand, but at the same time, it's like, girl, you got responsibilities. You just left.
I mean, it's good that she came back and now she has the knowledge to actually help Dee.
Okay, but when did she gain the knowledge? Was it in the first 100 years? Was it 110?
I feel like all the stuff that she went through took 200 years.
Okay, we'll say that. We'll save her. We'll save her.
Alright, so next what happened was, so back at Christina's house, Ruby confronts Christina and asks her if she was just using her to get to Letty and Atticus, which of course is true.
Answer yes.
Christina tells Ruby no, that she cares about her.
Right.
And she's still going to kill Atticus to become a worm. Slide that in there. So at the observatory, the others, so Letty, Atticus, Hippolyta, Montrose, they're trying to figure out how to use a time machine to go back in time to Tulsa 1921 and get the rest of the pages to save Dee. So Atticus, Montrose, and Letty go to Tulsa in 1921 to get the pages that was in Atticus' mom's house. And Montrose, he wants to warn George that he's going to get shot, and Letty and Atticus know that can't happen, so they go to try to find him and stop him. Which at first I thought he was trying to warn George, but now we figure it out later.
Right.
So Montrose and Letty split up to find George, and Letty unfortunately gets attacked by a group of white men and ends up at Atticus' mom's house.
Which is crazy because that's like a coincidence.
It's a huge coincidence, which I mean it did work out in her favor.
Right.
Unfortunately, but it's crazy when you think about it because they did show shots of Tulsa before, the massacre, and it was like so beautiful to see like the black-owned shops, black-owned banks, black-owned restaurants, and everybody just dolled up looking beautiful.
Yeah, just the fact that they was doing so well with the time.
And they had money and they were rich, but I mean they created their own space, which white people wanted.
Right.
And then of course, white people wanted to ruin that too.
Right.
Which is fucking crazy.
Yeah, and I admire that the show is putting a lot of this history in there because we don't learn about it in school. And
I honestly didn't learn about the Tulsa riots till this year. It's crazy how much you learn from a show than you actually did in the classroom. Yeah, it's crazy.
Right.
I want to talk about how Ruby is fucking gullible and listening to everything that Christina says.
I'm telling you, she's stigmatized.
I
There's
think
no
so.
other word for that.
Like, I don't understand this comprehension. She's like, Ruby, Christina cares about me,
Oh, she'll do this for me.
Yeah, she do everything for me. She gonna teach me spells. Like, and when she was confronting her, she was like, I thought she was gonna teach me magic, but she just using me to get to my family. And then she's like, not in the beginning.
Hey, at least she's honest.
At least she was honest about it. I could get her. And she's like, not in the beginning, but I like the vagina. Like, that was great.
But the thing that gets me, I'm like, okay, so are you going? Okay, all this aside, say like this is over, and it's just focused like on Christina's and Ruby's relationship. Yeah. Are you trying to figure out a way to permanently become a man? Because if you're not, is Christina hoping? Right? Or is Christina hoping that Ruby's just gonna fall in love with her?
I think that's what she wants, but I think Christina figured out that Ruby doesn't want her. She wants a man, so she's willing just to keep changing back to a man. So I don't know if she wants to be permanent.
That's crazy.
So. I mean,
is the love even real at this point?
I don't think
because
so.
If it's like sex based,
and I mean, it's crazy because she wants to become immortal. Why didn't you say, "Oh, Ruby, I'm going to help you become immortal too"? Keyword. She didn't say that shit, so that means
you're gonna die.
Yes,
she's gonna move on, and she gonna get that thing to somebody else.
Exactly. And what else? So I talked about the Tulsa riots, but it was crazy seeing Montrose as a kid getting beat by his father, and you understand why Montrose did that to Atticus. It's still wrong,
right?
But
it's definitely a pattern.
But you get a better understanding of how it was for him at that time.
That's true.
Yeah.
And I think even he mentioned, older Montrose mentioned that George did step in a lot as his older brother to try to save him. But it definitely seemed like he got more of the beatings.
Oh yeah, he definitely got more because I think his father knew definitely that Montrose was gay.
Right.
Yeah.
So basically, it continues as Tick goes to find his father, Montrose, who's run off, and everybody is pretty much thinking that he's going to go try to save George.
That's what we all thought, yeah.
Right. But it actually turns out that Montrose is actually trying to go save his lover, who was also a kid at the time, and you can tell that person really meant something to him.
I think that was his first love.
Right. And basically when he showed up, and I guess it was a courtyard, he was telling him that he couldn't be gay anymore because of his dad, pretty much.
Yeah.
And
so he told him it was time for me to be a man.
It was so sad. And you can really see it in older Montrose. You can really see it in his face how much that really, really hurt him and how much he regretted. It was so sad. So basically, that's who he really went to go save. His lover's name was Thomas, and he's pretty much telling Tick that nothing's gonna change, because since he's probably not even his dad anyway,
exactly,
that him saving Thomas shouldn't even change anything in the future. So basically, Tick basically is like, okay, go ahead, go save him, because he feels for him in his story, and you see how much that he actually really loves him. But then chose not to do it, and he watches his, lover die again.
Yeah.
So that was really sad. And then back at Atticus' mom's house, Letty is looking for the book, and Grandma coming with the shotgun, like, girl, what
ready to pop off.
Why you going through my
stuff? I love her. She was a whole moose.
Right.
As soon as Lady walked in, she was like,
she was the only one that noticed the shoes.
She was like, something right with her.
Jordans. Okay. So basically, it wasn't Jordan, by the way.
I mean, it's some sneakers.
Yeah, it's sneakers. But so the great grandmother comes in, and basically has to tell her that she's from the future because she don't want to get shot, even though she just doesn't want to alarm everybody, because everything that's already going on with the massacre and everything, the house is basically getting burnt down. The grandmother then agrees to give her the book that she's looking for, which happens to be the Book of Names, and Letty, and a heartfelt really thing for her to do, she stayed with the great grandmother as she burned to death.
And I think it was really honorable that Letty stayed with her as she died and didn't leave her so she could die alone. Like, it was really crazy to see that, because it's like all those moments is really horrific, and you can actually feel what they're going through during this time.
Right, and the crazy part about it was just the strength of the grandmother.
So much strength. Like, she stayed there. She died with a literal smile on her face. Let her know, like, God got me, and it's gonna be okay.
She literally burned to death.
Yeah.
How do you
deal with that?
That's just strength.
Yeah.
So basically, it jumps back to Hippolyta, and she's having trouble keeping the portal open. Tick goes through the portal because he noticed that something's creepy going on with the portal. It's kind of like flashing in and out.
It's gonna close in a minute.
Right. So he jumps through, and Hippolyta's over there. Fight for her life.
She is struggling.
She's getting burnt to death.
Barbecued.
Right. It's so bad to the point that she starts levitating while she's still trying to keep the portal open through the, I don't know what you would call them, like devices.
Yeah, the things that she got in her arms. Yeah.
Right, because she's basically acting as the mother lode for the portal to stay open, which is cool, but it just didn't look fun.
No, it looked painful.
So then Letty and Montrose finally jumps back through the portal together. So, what did you think?
Oh, you talk about Hippolyta's hair turning blue.
Oh, Hippolyta's hair turning blue.
So, first of all, I know that lady went through a lot hearing all those people dying. But,
she moved faster.
You walking really slow while Hippolyta is levitating and also struggling. Like, come on, like, just move a little bit faster. Why are you walking so slow?
I was even concerned when they jumped through the portal. I was like, you guys are jumping real slow.
So fucking
come
slow.
on. Like, she's over here. And then even did you see when they jumped inside the portal? And she was sitting there like
this, I was like, oh, okay, she died. Because her eyes were just open and she wasn't blinking. I was like, oh, she for sure dead. And I thought her hair turned gray at first, but it turned blue. And y'all, do you guys remember her daughter Dee has a comic book and the main character's hair is blue and her hair turned blue? Like, it's so, to me, that's so sweet.
It's like she's literally turning into the superhero that her daughter admires.
Yeah.
You know what was even more crazy? I could not be able to go back into the past. I'm telling. I'm changing everything
because it's so hard to be focused and try to get those pages when you know
what's about
that everybody's gonna die. That whole because Tulsa was called Black Wall Street. That Black Wall Street is gonna be destroyed by jealous white people who told them to create their own space, which I don't understand. Now, you wanted segregation, but you got mad at them for becoming rich and building their own companies. And it was crazy because before Montrose went into the portal, Montrose was listing names that he knew of black men and women who died and how they died. And it's crazy to see that because he looked like he was in so much pain seeing the city that he grew up in just burn.
Right. And then who knows what happened after? What was left?
What was the aftermath? Where did they go? How did they relocate?
As children too.
and all that mental trauma that they went through. Of course, already know that they, of course, had PTSD from that because that's insane.
Right?
It's crazy.
Well, like I said, if I'm going back in time,
I'm snitching
on everything.
Most definitely, I'm telling everybody, get your shit, get out.
And I feel for Letty too, because at one point she actually did tell them like somebody was up the street.
Yeah, she was going to tell them everything, but it's crazy because she had to literally stop herself from saying everything. Telling. I'm sorry, the future about to be changed.
Right. So if y'all see me walking around and I look older, I'm telling everything. All right. So like, do you have any lasting thoughts or? The episode was crazy. It was super emotional.
It was very heavy, but I feel like we needed to see this because not a lot of people know about the Tulsa riots and the massacre. They don't even know about Black Wall Street because I didn't know about it.
Right.
Like this year, so it's crazy. But I'm really looking forward to the season finale. I want to know if this bitch Christina is gonna become immortal, and why is Ruby still there, and if she's still gonna be there. That's what I want to know.
I think Ruby's still gonna be there. I don't think she disappeared, but for sure the sneak peek, I just want to say, did not help anything. And then,
I didn't even watch the sneak peek yet. I gotta watch it.
I didn't watch it. It came right after it.
God stopped it right there.
It didn't help nothing. I mean, you didn't miss anything because they were so good at keeping secrets. Because I swear, like when I watched the sneak peek for this, I didn't know this is where it was going. So good job.
Didn't go anywhere, Lord. I mean, I'm gonna miss this show.
Right.
When it's gone. I mean, y'all stress me out, but it's okay.
Yeah, it's like a good thing. Why only 10 episodes?
Yeah, make it 20.
But do a movie. But you know how anime does it? When
I don't know if they should do a movie. I kind of like it the episode.
Make it about somebody else.
What you mean? Like a different character?
I don't know, just something.
Like an anthology series. I can see that.
I don't know. I just want to see something else.
Yeah, but I'm definitely gonna read the books because I heard they're really good. Yeah.
Wow. But then you're gonna spoil one. You're gonna spoil it for
I'm not gonna. I mean, it's gonna spoil it for me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's okay. I'm gonna just pretend.
Okay. I guess you read it if you didn't see it.
Yeah, I didn't watch it yet. I just read it. It's fine.
Well, thank you guys for going ahead and tuning in. Please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. Please be there for when we're gonna watch the finale.
Let us know you guys' theories about what's going to happen. I still think I'm gonna hold on to this theory with all my heart. Christina daddy about to pop up. I know. I'm sorry. He ain't dead. He died too easily.
For the longest, I was thinking that her dad was Montrose.
Who
Yes. Don't laugh at me.
Wait.
No.
I'm sorry.
Okay, no. Okay,
that don't make no sense.
This is the reason why. So when he ended up killing, I can't pronounce that girl name.
Hippolyta?
No, he didn't kill Hippolyta. When they
about?
went back and they went underneath the house and they went on an excursion and they found the one girl that was trapped in there and they brought her back to life.
Nashima?
There you go.
I think that's her name.
When he killed her, I was like, oh yeah, that's her daddy.
You thought that you thought Montrose was possessed by Christina's dad.
Yeah.
I kind of thought the same thing because I was like, why the fuck would you kill Nashima, the one person who could translate the pages? But it was just Montrose like protecting his son, like not doing the job. Yeah.
And then with us again, make sure you're there for the finale. We might have a surprise for you guys. We don't know yet. We don't want to make any promises. But definitely please go back and watch the other episodes. And I think that's it.
Yep.
We'll
Thank y'all
see
for
you next
watching.
time. Peace out.